To hit that one here. 83-73 and 22 points for Charlie Scott. He has not fouled out for the first time so far. Sobers. Cowens with all that muscle and desire coming up after that third overtime on Friday night. Dave Cowens came in here and he's played himself a whale of a basketball game. 55 minutes he turned in the Boston Garden. You would think he hadn't played in a week. Charlie Scott, pull-up jump shot. And here come the Suns with a minute 5. It's 83-73. Outside. Hurd was left all alone. It's 8 points in a minute. It's 83-75. Down inside of 1 minute to go now. The count has reached 9 on the amazing Phoenix Suns as Van Arsdale comes out on Charlie Scott and picks it up. Because of the penalty, we'll have the free throw shot. 5 fouls against Van Arsdale.
Well, Brett, the great tradition, the great hustle, determination, dedication of those Boston Celtics have paid off. And they've done the same thing in 3 series. They've won 2 at home, lost 2 on the road, came back to win at home, went out on the road and won the big one out on the road, proving that they are a great basketball team, because you can't call yourself a great basketball team unless you can win on the road.
Timeout was called before the free throw was shot. They'll go over to the sideline with 50 seconds left, and the question to Rick Barry now, do the Suns have one miracle left?
Brent, I don't really think so. It's the situation right now.
Listen to the crowd here, Rick. Even though they know that it would take that miracle, great sportsmanship down here in Phoenix, because they know what a story this has been. Here's a team that finished 2 games over 500 in the regular season. They came up in the Western Conference Championship Series against Rick Barry and the defending champion Golden State Warriors, and they drove Al Allen and his team into a 7th game, and they won up in Oakland. And here they have forced the Boston Celtics to 6 games in the Boston Garden in a basketball game that no one will ever forget. The Phoenix Suns led it only twice, and they forced 3 overtime. They have not lost this series. They are just going to run out of time.
Well, it's a situation where the Boston Celtics have come through what I think is also under pressure. They've had some of the men on their team hurt, been playing a lot of time. Dave Cowens playing 45 minutes a game. John Havlicek with the bad foot. But yet, they continually hang tough. They stay in there. As Sonny Hill pointed out, they bend, but they never seem to break. They're the type of team that will always be in there. Certainly, they made mistakes and did not execute well, but when the chips were down, they came through with the effort that was necessary, forcing turnovers by the Suns, and that probably was the biggest turnaround in this basketball game. The Phoenix Suns, with those early turnovers, I think really hurt their opportunities to beat the Celtics here, and you're taking a look at the trophy that they're playing for, which will spend the next season at Boston Garden.
Walter Brown Memorial Trophy. Charlie Scott. And Alvin Adams yanked down the missed free throw. 84-75, lead pass to Sobers, 40 seconds, Hurd, high arch, Van Arsdale taps it back in. 84-77 and 40 seconds, pressure in the backcourt. Havlicek off to Charlie Scott on the wing, left alone because they were double teaming the ball. Scott gives it up to White, we've got 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds, JoJo gave it up and he traveled. 84-77, they can make it 79 with a quick hoop right now. McLeod saying quickly to Ricky Sobers, go fast. And here comes Sobers. Clock down inside of 25. Sobers up on. He's got it. He'll come to the line. Hold on, everybody. 23 seconds. This team won't quit.
Grant, you can't say enough about the Phoenix Suns and their dedication, determination to hang tough. They're coming back again, bringing it up the floor. You'll watch Sobers take it and try to go to the basket. Now watch Paul Silas. He moves his right shoulder into Ricky Sobers, picks up the foul. The ball goes in. He has a chance now to cut this lead down to 4 points with 23 seconds to go. And as long as the Boston Celtics don't get overcautious and careless with that basketball, they should be able to run the clock down.
A 4-point lead in the final seconds. Phoenix with pressure. Here's Hondo. Off now to JoJo White. He's left alone. Dribbling it down to kill the clock. White double team. Hurd came over on him and hit White and picked up the foul.
Well, what the officials did not see was that in the backcourt when they had the ball, Curtis Perry ran over and just grabbed Paul Silas trying to pick up a foul in the backcourt because Paul Silas is not a good free throw shooter. The last fellow they wanted to send to the line was JoJo White, who was an excellent shooter. So JoJo has a chance to really nail down this victory.
Penalty shot.
That should do it. 85-80. But again, just when you think that Phoenix is out, they'll come back with some amazing basketball. It has been a splendid series. Alvin Adams out. Here's Sobers with 10. Charlie Scott steps in. He stepped on that midcourt line. I'm not sure anybody picked it up.
But he didn't go over it, Brent. You must go back over that midcourt line for it to be a backcourt violation.
Rick, they're going to sell this floor. This will be the last basketball game ever played on it. $10 a square foot, and I understand they'll take in about $60,000, and a new floor will cost them $40,000. So for $10 a square foot, you can have a little piece of history here in Phoenix.
I'm glad they're doing it too, because this floor is really bad. It's got a lot of dead spots in it.
It's 87-80. Last 6 seconds of an NBA championship. It is all over. It has come to an end, and the Boston Celtics have won their 13th NBA championship. Hondo John Havlicek with possession of the ball, and the players are meeting here at midcourt, congratulating each other. It has been that kind of a battle here. Cowens and Don Nelson. Charlie Scott going off. Dr. Silver, the officials filing away. And there, of course, is JoJo White, who had an incredible series for the Boston Celtics. Played 60 minutes on Friday night, came back, and don't forget, we'll be going inside the victorious locker room. Mendy Rudolph will be in there. We'll find out who our MVP is.
Pick and roll to Tim. And the dunk. The net and rush it to fourth court. Nash to Stoudemire for the jam. That is some vintage Phoenix Suns basketball. The first ever
game for the women's NBA.
Teresa Weatherspoon at the buzzer, a three.
The Houston Comets have won their fourth straight.
And the first appearance by Edna Campbell.
Am I watching a game or am I watching a highlight film?
She does it for the first time in WNBA history.
Now the back-to-back is yours. Congratulations.
Oh my! Deanna Nolan.
Oh, it's good, and we got a ball game. That right there, everyone, personifies what the WNBA is all about.
Pushing ahead, Monte. Back to BD.
Pass goes to Andre Miller, right baseline. In traffic, tries to score on.
And there was a foul on Hawthorne. McDonald jumped out. 3 fouls against Glenn.
3-0 over him.
There's also 3 team fouls on the Boston Celtics.
And 2 Rick against the Suns. Inside pass to Sobers, who was dueling Scott. He's got it. He'll come to the line. Charlie Scott fouled Ricky Sobers as he came up with that shot. And for Charlie Scott.
There's the play again coming up. Alvin Adams, as you see Sobers make a great cut. He faked to the right, got Charlie to look the wrong way. Charlie was a step late, picks up the foul. And that's the way the Phoenix Suns like to run their offense.
3 fouls against Charlie Scott. Here's another player that would have been a senior in college.
Again, as in all the previous quarters, Brett and Rick, the Celtics are in the penalty situation, and we'll see if the Phoenix Suns take advantage of it.
64-62, Celts leading by a field goal. Charlie Scott turns around underhand. Good defensive play by the Suns. Celtics save it to McDonald. And off comes Garfield Hurd, and the Suns can tie it at the 9-minute mark. Charlie Scott comes out. Westfall thought he was fouled. There's Havlicek. Suns are going to bitterly protest this play. They're going to call a timeout. They are furious about this play. Paul Westfall is absolutely convinced Scott got him.
Let's watch the play there. Charlie Scott came back over Westfall. The ball went out of his hand. He picks it up, makes a great pass to Havlicek, lays it in for a 2-point.
Underneath, Parker. What a shot! Get out of town!
Oh, Ginobili crossover ball. Oh! Crawford, what moves he shows.
Now that is a highlight play there.
Kobe with a terrific finish at the rim. It's the Diesel. Pass just flying through the air. Richardson puts it down. The steal by Iverson. He wins it! He won the game! Ginobili, pick and roll to Tim, and the dunk. The net and rush it to fourth court. Nash to Stoudemire for the jam. That is some vintage Phoenix Suns basketball. Don't be lazy on your squats. Squat underneath it. Up and down. That's it.
Go ahead, turnovers. Show me another one.
Take him to it, Al. Take him to it, Al.
It's loud, it's wild, it's raucous, and it will certainly be very emotional.
Pushing ahead, Monte. Back to BD.
Pass goes to Andre Miller, right baseline. In traffic, tries to score on a reverse. He does. Count the basket.
All right, here's that last play. Here's Paul West with the ball. Now watch Charlie Scott putting the pressure on. He reaches in right there, whacks him on the arm pretty good. Then Paul Westfall loses the ball, and that's what he was complaining about, that he was fouled before he lost the ball. He lost the ball on his own accord, but he got whacked across the arms before that. And it's a 4-point turnaround for the Boston Celtics.
Celtics leading it by 4 as the Suns go back to work, and 8:45 left in regulation time. Bounces away from Hurd, and Adams retrieves it. The shot clock goes down toward 5 seconds. They'll have to come alive here quickly. Sobers on the dribble, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Adams up with a shot. It's a 2-point lead.
Another tough shot under pressure. The young rookie just doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Curtis Perry will check back in for John McLeod. Westfall sticks with Scott. White behind. Great screens that time by Cowens and Havlicek. Cowens got the hoop. Here comes Phoenix with a chance to tie it. Westfall against Havlicek. Westfall with great body control. Put it in for the time basket. 7:56, and Paul Westfall did it with a twisting move to the hoop that time. After the Celtics had set a pretty play here at the other end. Sobers watching White. They cleared out. They're going to set a double screen. Now they break it off again. Now they go one-on-one. It's JoJo White. Short. Adams got a hand. Here come the Suns. They can take the lead. Sobers again against Havlicek. Hold on. He came right back up, and John Havlicek, there's a loose ball foul. It's on Havlicek, not Cowens. Havlicek was in behind him.
Let's watch that incredible move by Paul Westfall, who's done this the whole series. Tremendous body control. Goes to his left and left hand. Now watch him come back with his right as Havlicek passes him by. That's just super body control. Laying it off the board. He and JoJo White have made 2 super plays. Of course, you've got to get a break on that by laying it off the board, but he and JoJo have made 2 super individual efforts.
Rick, here's the point that you and Mindy have been making. Sobers putting Phoenix ahead with the free throw because the Celtics are over the limit and the Suns are not. We got 7:25, and just as you guys have been telling the audience, 2 fouls against Phoenix on that team side.
And there's again a missed free throw, how crucial they can be.
Now